Hello. My name is Jaehee, and I am a senior in high school from South Korea. And today my paper topic is the challenge bioprospecting poses to the entire treaty system. It told you, but I want to tell you, today I am here as a presenter for my paper. But the motive I had in writing this thing could have been a little different from the others here, because like last year I won third place in this essay contest hosted by the APEC, and because of that award I had the great opportunity of going to the Antarctica Treaty Summit in Washington DC and making a presentation about it. But like actually still in high school, but anyway, my actual academic interest like philosophy, so I wondered how I could connect the two topics together. And today I came up with a paper explaining current problems in the Antarctic treaty system with the concepts of social justice and overlapping consensus. Yeah, that was me. This is the table of contents of my paper, but as you can see, it may be a little complicated and long to explain this presentation, so I would rather give a different table of contents for this. So here goes the informal table of contents. The informal table of contents go like this. First is problems in the Antarctic treaty system. After that, I would like to explain the theory of social justice, and which is the underlying principle in today's society. However, social justice has its limits, which cause problems in the Antarctic treaty system. So what we need as an alternative is environmental justice, which is a different concept from social justice to solve these problems. Also, a new overlapping consensus is needed for environmental justice to facilitate. And then afterwards, I shall make a proposal of what is needed. So in this presentation today, we make an ethical examination of what kind of principles we have based our treaty on and what kind of problems have arisen. Okay, first is problem. The concept called the tragedy of commons was a concept introduced by Garrett Hardin, and the concept describes how even without ill intent, a common shared resource can be destroyed if the members are all rational as egoists without regulation, which can refer to Antarctica today as the common ground. And today, more than 100 companies are involved in commercially oriented research in Antarctica, and bioprospecting external files is greatly expanding, which can be the actions of the people who use the common ground without ill intent. And bioprospecting, even though it may not be a serious problem now, it may be the start of future environmental damage in commercial disputes over copyrights and patents, and has the potential of harming Antarctica, just as the common ground in the tragedy of commons was damaged by people who used it to their own interests, even without ill intent. We need to be cautious about that. These are two tables from the United Nations University Report of Bioprospecting in Antarctica. And the first one shows the number of patent applicants per country, and the second shows the patent granted. And as you can see, the numbers differ greatly by country, and the largest number of patents in Japan. And the numbers have been recently greatly increased, and it shows the potential commercial disputes that may happen in Antarctica. Second is the concept of current social justice. As defined by John Rawls, a philosopher, justice is defined by social arrangements which determine the division of advantages for underwriting an agreement on proper distributive shares. That's the definition. But in other words, justice is the binding source that keeps society together today. And also it prevents conflicts that may happen because of people's individual interests. And justice is a source against conflict. And according to social justice, people kind of act even against their own benefit for the well-being and unity of society. And also, justice is the underlying force of all treaties, committees, contracts. Overlapping consensus for environmental justice also being sacrificed for the future generations as natural in our lives, in contrast to us now who have pretty much little regard for the future generations. So here comes the proposal of what is needed. In addition to environmental justice itself, what we need today is an international governing force that can enforce this environmental justice. Actually, the Antarctic Treaty only regulates military activities officially. However, scientific investigation today is in the gray area. It's quite hazy, and it's the part that needs to be controlled and restrained by the attitude of respect for nature and sacrifice for the future generations. So what we need today is somewhat thing like this called the ASROBP, which is the Antarctic Science and Research Organization for Biological Prospecting. And it is proposed to be created as an international force to control patents and ownerships and create a balance between scientific investigations and benefits acquired from it, as it has a great imbalance between countries. An ASROBP will be the pioneer for environmental justice, and it will maintain Antarctica as the common domain for the world, as the Antarctic Treaty has done in the past, but is kind of failing right now. So for Antarctica, this is all for Antarctica. To conclude, throughout this presentation, I've said a lot of words, but for your benefit, I would like to summarize it in 2 words. The first word is environmental justice, and the second word is an international governing force. Environmental justice should be the revised principle for the International Antarctic Treaty System. And second, ASROBP, an international governing force, is greatly in need. Thank you.